Good morning, everybody. So today we have a story called Leo and Lester. You can see these are our characters here. Little raccoon and a hippopotamus. And this story is all about manners. So let's see what happens with these two friends. Lester and his friend Leo were going into town together. "Please be careful, Lester," said his grandmother, "and try to be considerate of others." "Of course," said Lester. "I always know how to behave." "Listen, please, may I have my hat, Grandma?" "Thank you, Grandma. Excuse me, Grandma." "There's more to good manners than saying please, thank you, and excuse me, Lester," said Grandmother. "Why not let Leo help you brush up on your manners?" So Leo agreed to give Lester some lessons. Do you agree? Do you think there's more to manners than just saying please, thank you, and excuse me? Lesson 1, around town. Don't block the escalator. Stand to one side. Litter goes in the garbage can, not on the ground. When you're shopping, put things you don't want back on the shelf. Always let others off the bus before you try to get on. Uh-oh. Does Lester look like he's listening? Not quite. "Don't worry," said Lester after the lesson was over. "I always behave when I'm in town." When they had finished their shopping, Lester decided to try out his new skateboard. "No, Lester, not with the shopping bags," cried Leo. Too late. The skateboard slid in a puddle and Lester crashed into some people passing by. What a mess! They all fell down. Groceries went flying, and so did Lester's bag of socks and a new pack of baseball cards and his hat and sunglasses. Mr. Cat got the skateboard in his face, and Rabbit lost his ice cream cone. Oh no, what a mess! Most of which landed on Leo's head. See his ice cream on his head? Mr. Rabbit does not look impressed. Lester said, "Please, thank you, and excuse me," but it didn't help. Leo was very embarrassed and started to clean up Rabbit. Meanwhile, all this skateboarding and splashing was making Lester feel hungry. Oh no. Lesson 2, eating out. Always wash your hands before eating. Knives, forks, and spoons are for eating, not for playing drums on the table. Eat or talk, but do not try to do both at the same time. Those are some good rules. "Don't worry," said Lester after the lesson. "I always behave in restaurants." Do you have a prediction? I do. Do you think something might go wrong? Maybe. Their food took some time to arrive. Lester started blowing bubbles in his soda. And when lunch did come, he gobbled it down and built a tower with his leftovers. And when the tower fell over, his cup fell on the floor and he crawled under the table to get it. "No, Lester!" cried Leo. "You don't fit!" Too late. The table tipped over and food flew everywhere. Oh my goodness. Lester says he has all these manners, but he's not using them if he does. Lester said, "Please, thank you, and excuse me," but it didn't help. The waiter said he never wanted to see them in the restaurant again. Leo said sorry to everyone. By now, Lester was thinking about going to the park. Oh, Lester doesn't seem to be too bothered about all the mess he's making. Right? If you make a big mess, should you just leave it for a friend? No way. You gotta take care of your own things, right? Lesson 3, playing at the park. The plants and flowers are for everyone, so don't pick them. Remember to skate on the paved path and not in the flower beds. Do feed the ducks, but only if it's allowed. Don't play loud music. Others may not like it. There's some good lessons. Oh, look, looks like Lester's paying attention. Do you think he'll do well at the park? Yeah? No? What's your prediction? I don't know. Don't worry, said Lester after the lesson. I always behave at the park. But when he started playing soccer, he kicked the ball straight into the fox's picnic. And when he flew his kite, he tried to do some tricks. Careful, Lester, cried Leo. Watch out for the sandcastle. Too late. Lester got tangled in the kite string and tripped. He fell headfirst into the sandbox, squashing the sandcastle flat. Oh, man, what a bummer. What would you do if that happened? If you accidentally squished someone's sandcastle? Could apologize, try and help them make a new one. Lester said, please, thank you, and excuse me, but it didn't help. I'm so sorry, he added, copying what Leo said, but that didn't help much either. Leo decided they should visit their friend, Mr. Alligator. A visit would keep Lester inside and hopefully out of trouble. Uh-oh, they're mad. Lesson 4, Visiting Friends. Try to look neat and clean. Knock first, don't just walk in. Greet your friends politely. It's not your house, so don't jump on the furniture. Say something nice about the food. There's a lot of friends there at Alligators. There's Leo and Lester, and there's a toucan and a giraffe, and there's Mr. Alligator. Don't worry, said Lester. I always behave in friends' houses. But he was feeling thirsty, so he opened the refrigerator without asking, slurped down all the milk, and spilled some of it on the floor. Oh, Lester, come on, man. Then he knocked over a very nice lamp. And when he saw an interesting book on the shelf, he grabbed it and knocked over the other books down right onto Mr. Alligator's head. Then Lester tried to be helpful, but as he carried out a tray of fruit juice, he showed off his silly walk, and juice spilled everywhere. Oh my goodness. Making a scene at Mr. Alligator's. Lester said, please, thank you, and excuse me, but it didn't help at all. Then he offered to clean up, and everyone thought that was very nice of him. Leo was pleased, too. He didn't have to apologize for Lester this time. Good job, Lester. He's figuring it out. By now it was getting late. Time for Leo and Lester to go home. See, that's the good manners that we have in class, right? If we make a mess, if we spill, no big deal. We just clean it right up. Accidents happen, right? But we don't leave it for someone else. Lesson 5, at home. Don't waste water. Always put the phone back on the hook. Don't forget to put your toys away. Don't stand in front of the TV when someone else is watching. Always put your clothes away. Do you follow those rules at home? You know who doesn't follow the TV rule? My dad. When I go to his house, he always stands in front of the TV. I just say, excuse me, I can't see. But then he fixes it. He moves. Don't worry, said Lester after the lesson. I always behave well at home. In the living room, he took all his toys out and scattered them everywhere. He played music so loudly, it gave Leo a headache. When Lester decided to watch a movie, his sandwich nearly got put in the VCR. Let's have some of Grandma's raspberry pie, said Lester. He took a big slice and left the rest on the sofa. Leo then sat down on the raspberry pie. Lester, cried Leo, that's enough. We must clean up this mess now. Uh-oh, Leo has had enough. Would you get frustrated if you were the friend always cleaning up? I would. I'll clean up, said Lester. You have a rest. Without so much as a please, thank you, or excuse me, Lester picked things up and put them away, then swept and wiped and scrubbed. My, what a clean house, said Grandmother when she came back from shopping. Lester, you have behaved yourself. Thanks to Leo's lessons, said Lester. Well, I suppose I did make 1 or 2 mistakes. 1 or 2. But tomorrow I will be on my very best behavior. How nice. He's taking care of his home. The end. Leo is a pretty good teacher. I like that story. See you guys later.